Chess is more than a game. It's strategy, it's intelligence, it's friendship. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my channel. The game has just begun.
Hi chess friends, today I'm here to show you a game simply incredible. This game was played by Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa and Magnus Carlsen. All we know Magnus Carlsen, he is one of the most incredible player in the history of chess. He is the number one and the strongest player in the world now. Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa is a young boy, Indian boy prodigy, 16 years old, and here we have the game where the youngest boy in the world beats the world champion, Magnus Carlsen. So this is a record. Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa is so strong, and he will probably one of the most strongest player in the world in the future of chess. He's simple prodigy. He is a genius, and now I want to show you this game. Magnus plays with the white pieces, Praggu with black pieces, and let's go. Magnus open with d4, knight f6 by Praggu, c4, e6, knight f3, d5, knight c3, controlling more d5 square, and c5 by Praggu, e3, knight c6. Both the player want to control more the center. C capture for d5, e capture for d5, and bishop b5, pinning this knight. C capture for d4, e capture for d4, and now bishop d6 by Praggu. Castle by white and castle by black. We have h3 and h6. Rook e1 and bishop f5. The two players continue to develop their pieces. This pair of bishop is so strong. Cut the chessboard really well. We have knight e5 by Carlsen. This knight can be captured. If you capture the knight with the black knight, pawn capture, d4 e5, and this is a double attack and you lose something, so you lose the game, and so it's not possible. And you could capture with the bishop, but this is not good because pawn is so strong here on e5. It's defended by the rook, so it's not a good way to continue the game. So this knight here is so strong, and Praggu plays rook c8, continues the development of pieces. Bishop f4 by Carlsen and rook e8. Rook c1, both players bring the rook to this open file, c file and d file, and queen b6 by Praggu. Here, if ignores this threat, if you play a casual move like this, Praggu here can play this move and this bishop has to go away. After the bishop move, for example this, or this pawn can be captured, the b pawn can be captured. So here Carlsen has to react, and you could play here in this position queen d2 to defend this pawn, and after this you could play this, completely fine. But here Carlsen decide to take the knight on c6. So we have b capture for c6, b capture for c6, And now knight a4 by Carlsen. Attacks the queen and defends this pawn. Praggnanandhaa plays the queen h6. And now rook e3. Very nice rook lift by Carlsen. The idea is to bring the rook here on g3, putting pressure here on g7 and h6, or maybe rook here, rook c3 to double up the rook and to attack this weak point, because the c6 pawn is a very weak pawn. We have knight e4. Praggnanandhaa plays this really strong move because this knight here is a monster. Is an advanced position, so it's so strong. And f3 to kick away this knight. Knight comes to g5 by Praggnanandhaa and rook c3. Carlsen double up to attack this pawn, like I said. We have queen b7, and this pawn is undefendable, so you have no way to defend. And now you can't really it's the pawn, because here this bishop would be would be captured. So this move is not possible still. So here Carlsen plays bishop h2. In this way, the next move will be possible to capture the pawn. We have knight e6 by Praggnanandhaa, and now Carlsen decides to play knight for c6. This knight captures the pawn, and we have knight f4. Here Praggnanandhaa could play little better and could play bishop capture for h2 check, king capture for h2 check, and only now knight f4, and this knight here is so strong. The rook can come here on e2. You can defend the rooks that come here, and if you do, for example, with this move, this knight is so strong. It's really strong, and maybe this pawn can be pushed away the knight. So this is not a good position for white. But here Praggnanandhaa didn't see it and plays knight f4. Knight f4, and now we have knight e5 by Carlsen. Let's come back with the knight. This knight is attacked because it's not more defended by the bishop. So Praggnanandhaa has to react and plays bishop capture for e5. D capture for e5, and now knight d3 by Praggnanandhaa. This knight is defended by the bishop, so it's completely okay. You can capture here. If you capture, you lost completely, because rook come here, and after this you lost a piece. So you have no possibility to do this. And we have the trade of rook. Rook capture for c8, rook capture for c8, rook capture for c8, and queen capture for c8. We have bishop g3 by Carlsen and d4. Praggnanandhaa uses his best pawn. b3 and queen c6. We have queen d2 by Carlsen, and now king h7 by Praggnanandhaa. King h2, the two players improve the position of their king, and bishop g6. Queen a5, and now Praggnanandhaa plays queen c1. Here Carlsen captures the pawn, and now we have this position where Carlsen has 6 pawn Pragu has 4 pawn, but the activity of his knight and his queen is so strong. Really impressive. So queen e3 by Pragu, and now knight c3. This is not a good move by Carlsen. You can capture the knight, because if you capture the knight, the queens fall, obviously. But there is a problem, because in this position Pragu has a winning idea, and he plays knight f4. You can't capture the knight with a bishop. If you capture, there is queen for f4, check. And if you move the king, the pawn can capture the knight, and you are up a piece. And if you play something like this, to block the check, there is queen d2. After the king move, the pawn can capture, and this is completely winning for black. So you can capture the knight. Carlsen here could play knight here, but this is not a good solution, because here there is a problem. Here Pragu could play this move, knight e2, and knight is so strong. Is a winning move, because you can prevent queen g1. How can you prevent queen g1? If you move the bishop like this is checkmate. You can't create some space for the king, and this is checkmate. So this is not a good solution for white. So here Carlsen finds a nice move and plays knight d1, attacks the queen, and prevents this move because the queen is hanging. So we have queen d2 by Pragu, and now we have knight f2. Carlsen tried to defend the position, but it's so difficult. We have knight e2, and this is so strong, and Carlsen tried to play something like h4. He wants to create a path for the king to get free, because the threat of to bring the queen on g1 is so strong. So because queen e1 is coming, so it's too strong. Carlsen tried this type of defense, and now we have queen e1, however, and this threat is unstoppable. You can do nothing here. Carlsen try queen d7, but follow knight capture for g3, queen capture for d4. You can capture the knight. If you capture the knight, you lost completely. There is queen for e5. This is check. If you don't cover the check, follow this bishop check, and you lose the queen to the next move. After the king moves, you lose your queen. If you block the check, the knight falls. Queen e3, and after the check, so this is completely winning. So you can't capture the knight. Carlsen decided to give the piece and play queen d4, and we have this position where Pragu has a piece more. He's a piece up. Queen knight f1 check, and king h3, and we have knight e3. We are in the end of the game. This knight is hanging, so we have queen b2, and now Pragu find a nice way to win the game and plays the simple bishop c2. He created an interference, and the queen can't defend more the knight, because between them there is a bishop on c2, and this knight is hanging, and here in this position Carlsen resign. You can do nothing. if you play something like if you try to defend your king, your knight, you can play simple this is check, you have to move the king, and after you move the king you capture the knight, and you can do really nothing. If you try to move the knight, for example, here, follow this queen check, you can see on computer, and this is checkmate. You can see this checkmate, this bishop cover everything, this knight cover everything. A g5 is not possible for the h6 pawn. So what a game really, that Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa, 16 years old, wins versus Magnus Carlsen. And I hope this video enjoy you. Thank you for watching my video. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and thank you very much. See you soon with another video, and really thank you. Bye.